Take the bike, swipe your credit card, take a bike, ride it for the day, put it back in, and as soon as you put the bike back in, it charges your credit card. It's all solar powered. Solar powered billboards down in Florida. This is a solar trash compactor. I mean, it's everywhere. Solar street lights. We're starting to see just everything. You know, the world is turning to solar. We're seeing a lot of applications where people are making solar serve multiple functions. This is a little roof over a deck in Colorado, and there's solar modules, so they generate electricity and provide a little bit of shade. Here's one in California, similar kind of idea. So we're just seeing solar just popping up everywhere, and a lot of times you don't even know it's there. I mean, you travel through Kansas City, and you wouldn't realize, but so many of the buildings in Kansas City are powered by solar. You can't see the arrays up on the roof, so there's a lot more solar that you don't even see. We're seeing a lot of homes being powered by solar. These are 3 Habitat for Humanity homes in St. Louis powered by solar. My students and I installed these. These are little 1 kW solar systems on these super energy efficient green-built habitat homes. Now we're seeing some innovative ideas. These are sun slates. This top panel right here, actually these sun slates blends in very beautifully, doesn't it? It's gorgeous, beautiful blend. This is in kind of northwestern Missouri. It's a very large 25 kW, 25,000 watt solar array. And what this farmer did is he actually turned it into a shed. So he parks his tractors in there and his trailers and vehicles in there. So it's a big solar array, but he makes it serve double duty. Solar awnings on buildings. This is in downtown St. Louis. Beautiful application of solar. Great way to get solar into a building. We see an awful lot of solar on industrial buildings, an awful lot. And like I said, most times you don't even realize it's there. This is a project I'm very proud of. This is in Colorado College. These are some of the dormitories at Colorado College where I've taught for a decade. And one of my students as a freshman got so fired up by solar that for his senior project he raised $185,000 and got permission from the school. And in that 6-week period, he raised the money and got this solar system installed. It was as a donation to the university as a senior project. It was actually $20,000 short. And he said, but I only had 6 weeks, so I forgave us for missing that. There are other important solar buildings in the United States. This is a model solar net positive energy building, very rare indeed building. So we're seeing the military is getting behind solar. This is Nellis Air Force Base in Reno, Nevada. Huge solar array. These are tracking arrays. These panels just actually track the sun from sunrise to sunset, increasing the output. Virtually everything in outer space is solar powered. It's just more than that, though. We're seeing a tremendous increase, and I truly think the sustainable energy revolution has begun. This is a graph of the growth in wind power. These are large wind turbines, and you can see exponential growth in wind power. It's the fastest growing source of energy in the world right now, wind power, growing at breakneck speeds. And you can see who the main players are: the People's Republic of China, US of A, Germany, very major players in wind energy. And what's really cool is that we've only just begun. Wind is truly one of the fastest forms of electricity, and it's been growing at an average rate of 30% per year in the last decade. That's a doubling time of 2.5 years. So every 2.5 years, the amount of wind power doubles in the world. And in recent years, approximately 40% of all the new electrical generation capacity added in the United States was from wind power. So it's growing by leaps and bounds. It's an amazing thing. And what really the frosting on this cake is that the cost has come down so dramatically. The cost of electricity from wind here in the States is below the cost of generating electricity from coal and natural gas. That's exciting news. I mean, to realize that we've gotten to the point where we can generate electricity without tax subsidies cheaper than they can generate it from subsidized coal and natural gas. That's a really exciting development. Globally, if you look at all the onshore wind power, the cost is about the same as electricity generated from natural gas. which is really our cheapest form of electricity now. So globally, we've got wind power producing electricity at the same cost. And it's not going unrecognized. People are recognizing that the cost has come down. If you look at the global wind capacity, all the global wind farms, you want to get an idea of how much electricity it's actually producing. I ran some calculations. These are the numbers, but I'm not going to go through them. But basically, the bottom line is it's equal to about 56% of all the total amount of electricity we generate from coal in the United States. So if you take the entire global wind capacity and the amount of electricity that's generated from that, it's about a little over, well, almost 60% of the electricity we generate from coal here in the United States. And this is how I calculate it. If you want to come up and figure it out with me, that's fine. Now, what I'm excited about too is not only is wind growing like crazy, the wind capacity is growing like crazy, the costs have come down, and we've just really only begun to tap the potential. The U.S., the National Renewable Energy Lab in Golden, Colorado estimates that offshore wind is 4 billion megawatts. 4 billion megawatts. Now currently the global capacity, what we've got in terms of capacity is 318 megawatts. So the US, this is just the US wind potential, is 13 times greater than what the current world capacity. So enormous opportunity for growth. If you look at onshore, so this is offshore. If you look at onshore, it's 10 billion megawatts of capacity that's available. That's 33 times greater than the current world capacity. So the take-home lesson is, solar's taking off, the prices have come down, the growth in the industry is phenomenal, and we've only just begun. We've really only just begun to tap into the capacity of the total wind capacity, just here in the United States and pretty much anywhere else. So there's an abundance of energy available from the wind. There are over 80 countries now that are installing large wind turbines. And this shows you some of the players: China, United States, Germany, Spain. France is a big one into wind, Canada. So a lot of countries understand that it's an inexpensive, clean, and fairly reliable source of wind, a source of electrical energy. And there's some huge wind farms going up in the United States, in Oregon, state of Washington. There is also an international, as I pointed out, there's an international wind energy boom. India has announced a new national wind mission. They're on to wind in a big way. Brazil booked 4.7 gigawatts of new projects. And just in 2013, Mexico has gone fire with wind. It's just amazing. Africa is set to boom as well. So this is a pretty exciting development to see wind development in a lot of different nations. So I'm extremely excited. These are some of the major wind farms that are going in here in the United States alone. You can see wind farms all over the place, all over the West. So very, very good news. So if you're taking a class from me or from other professors and you're learning about all the problems that we're having, this is one bit of extraordinary news that's going to usher in this new sustainable revolution. Now, energy revolution. Now, wind farms, one of the advantages of wind farms is, although they occupy large areas, they actually take up only a tiny amount of the space. Only about 1% of the actual space is occupied by the turbines and the roads. So you can continue to farm, you can continue to graze cattle, buffalo, or whatever on the land, and also reap a tremendous income. Typically, a farmer who leases out his or her land to a wind company will get annually about $3,000 to $10,000 a year per turbine. That's rental for the property and a bit of royalty. There's a farmer, a rancher in southeastern Colorado who has almost 100 wind turbines on his farm. He won't tell us what he actually gets, but we're thinking he gets somewhere between $300,000 and $500,000 a year from those wind turbines on his farm. And I guarantee you, he hasn't made $300,000 profit in his entire lifetime grazing this prairie that he's on. He's on the short grass prairie. It's a pretty desolate country. It's, that close to being a desert on southeastern Colorado. So it can be a tremendous boon to farmers. They can continue to farm the land, and then You know, there's a joke that farmer wins $2,000 or $2 million in the lottery, and they say, well, what are you going to do with that money? He said, I'm going to just continue farming till the money runs out. You know, and these farmers now have some subsidy for them to keep on farming. The nice thing about wind turbines is that they can be built quickly compared to a nuclear power plant, which takes about 10 years from the time you start to the time you put it in, and then plus all the environmental problems. Now, wind's big negative is it's very